So now you are going to get a chance to try this out on your own.
So if you or someone close to you is near the blend space where you can see, we have uploaded some independent excerpts. And so we want you to have some choice. We think that's important for your students. We know it's important to you. So if you'll keep using the forward arrow button here, we're going to give you a few moments to choose a text from our digital text set. And I'm going to just smile. If you'll watch me, then you'll know how to do it on blend space yourself. I just put that in there for humor. Everybody gets a book. All of these are yours. There's Open a Book if Possible is next. And there's 3 other excerpts from students that I've taught at the college level. For those of you who are visual learners, I have a digital story that one of my students named Lukosi created in one of the undergraduate English courses. He's now an MFA student, and so he was a first generation college student. Had a similar experience where reading was encouraged in his home, but he really had to embrace that. And so if you'll keep toggling forward, you'll see the Open a World of Possible text. I went ahead and put it right in the blend space. If you want to choose a excerpt from that, there are 256 of them by famous authors, famous celebrities, people who made a difference as entrepreneurs, but they all share a joy and a passion for literacy. So you're welcome to choose one of those during our independent reading time. If you keep moving forward, this is an excerpt from Anna Quindlen, who's one of my favorite journalists in the world. She was a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist from Newsweek, wrote for the Washington Post. This text is from an excerpt of her book called How Reading Changed My Life. There's a second paragraph there. I want a t-shirt that says, I'm a member of the clan of the book too. Please know there is a sentence in here that makes this not appropriate for your students, but it's definitely appropriate for us. I just want to give you that disclaimer. It is a fabulous piece. If you'll keep toggling forward, this is an excerpt from Malcolm X, who wrote a piece called Literacy Behind Bars. Also a very powerful piece about the joy and the challenge of reading. I underlined the last one. This is from a textbook that I used in English 101 to teach. You'll discover it for yourself there about how he found the power of literacy when he was incarcerated and how that changed his life when he had uninterrupted time to read. This one you have to click here to download it. That's the digital story from my student Lukosi Fuller. If you want to do that, I just ask that you turn your volume down on low so it isn't a distraction from people who are choosing something that's not an audio recording. When it downloads on your device, it is a WMV file. You'll just pull it up and you'll be able to see his digital.
You remember learning how to write?
I do.
He also interviewed his mother and his grandmother, and it was pretty powerful of his literacy life. The last example is a student of mine named Dominic Stodner, who was also a first generation college student in my English 101 class. And unfortunately, when I first started teaching that class, I thought I only have Tuesday and Thursday of 3 months to get a classroom of 28 18-year-olds ready for college reading when 12 years of their previous experience didn't work. But I didn't take the time to get to know them as people, which I always did with my elementary students. And when I realized that some of them weren't turning in their assignments, I thought, I need to find out who they are so I know how to teach them. And you'll find out who Dominic is when you read his literacy narrative. So Melissa, I want to engage you in independent reading. Melissa, how long do we have?
Let's do 5 minutes. That's a little shorter than we normally would be doing, but we want to be respectful of your time today. So you have 5 minutes to pick one of those excerpts and read through it, keeping in mind those questions that are on your sheet. To read about, they're listed by their names. So Georgia Hurd is one of the people coming to Furman in September. Let's see. Are there any names that you know off the top of your head? All right, so that's another aspect of the writing and reading workshop is keeping an eye on your time management. So Egg Timer is a very easy way. You can just pull it up in your browser and it's kind of hard to miss. So now it's time to share a little bit of what you guys were thinking. So how we're going to do that is, I have another handout for you. We're going to fill out quadrant partners. Do we have time for that, or should we?
do.
Okay. So what you're going to do is we're going to fill out some names in these quadrant partners, but I'm going to give you specific directions for how to do that. All right, in space number 1, we'll let you pick the comfortable option. Write down a name of someone at your table, but here's how this works. You guys need to be in a partnership. So if I write down your name, Lucille, then you're going to write down my name, and you can't write down anyone else's name in spot 1.
In
okay?
the same box.
In the same box.
You need a box 1 partner, okay? So you'll be their box 1 name, they'll be your box 1 name.
So if you have an odd number of people at your table, look to another table that has an odd number of people. If you have an even number of people, you should be good. So write each other's names in box number 1. Just number 1. Just number 1. I'm gonna make you get up for 2, 3, and 4. Ha ha ha.
We were trying to go.
I know. Just number 1. All right, so you guys have noticed that 2, 3, and 4 are also on your paper. Some of you guys were jumping ahead. I am going to let you do the same things for 2, 3, and 4, but you may not pick someone who's on your grade level, which probably means you have to get up from your table. I know, we're making you mingle. Curse us all. All right, so get up and do the same thing. So you'll match with number 2, 3, and 4. Find someone else who you don't normally work with.